Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai Jagannatha Deva Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur जगधर्म श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय सामवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter number 11. Jadabharat instructs King Rahugana, text number 15. Nayavad etam tanubran narendra viduyam vayunodhaina vimukta sango jitasatsapatno vedhatmatattvam भ्रमति हतावत् न यावदेतां तनुभृन्नरेन्द्र विदूयमायां वयुनोदयेन विमुक्तसङ्गो जितसत्सपत्नो वेदात्मतत्त्वं भ्रमतीह तावत् न यावदेतां तनुभृन्नरेन्द्र विदूयमायां वयुनोदयेन विमुक्तसङ्गो जितसत्सपत्नो वेदात्मतत्त्वं भ्रमतीह तावत्. विदूयमायां मुक्तसङ्गो जितसत्सपत्नो वेदात्मतत्त्वं भ्रमतीह तावत्. Any Matajis? Word to word meaning, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Na, not, yavat, as long as, etam, this, tanubrit, one who has accepted a material body. Narendra, O king, viduya mayam, washing away the infection accumulated because of contamination by the material world. Vayuna udayena, by awakening of transcendental knowledge due to good association and study of the Vedic literatures. Vimukta Sangha, free from all material association. Jita Sat Sapatna, conquering the six enemies. The five knowledge acquiring senses and the mind. Veda knows. Atma Tattvam, spiritual truth. Brahmati, he wanders. Iha, in this material world. Tavat, until that time. Translation. My dear King Rahugana, as long as the conditioned soul accepts the material body and is not freed from the contamination of material enjoyment, and as long as he does not conquer his six enemies and come to the platform of self realization by awakening his spiritual knowledge, he has to wander among different places and different species of life in this material world. Purport. When one's mind is absorbed in material conception, he thinks that he belongs to a particular nation, family, country, or creed. These are all called upadhis, designations, and one has to become freed from them. Sarva upadhi vinurmuktam. As long as one is not freed, he has to continue conditioned life in material existence. The human form of life is meant for cleansing away these misconceptions. If this is not done, one has to repeat the cycle of birth and death and thus suffer all material conditions. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananshana Salake Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuttapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurasve Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Chagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुल्लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam for the glorification of the Lord and purification of my heart. So here we are seeing how Jadabharat, a self-realized soul, is trying to instruct King Rahugana the process of self-realization. And Sarabham Prabhu was telling that this king Rahugana was the very same deer was who he was attached to in the previous life when he was Bharat Maharaj. So that very deer again came as King Rahugana, and now in this particular life he is helping him uh, to come out of his material existence. Uh, so a Vaishnava, when he shows affection, so previously he was showing affection in the sense materially, but now he is showing spiritual affection. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Chai. So obviously, as Bharat Maharaj also, he would have definitely, in the sense, chanted some names of God, and the deer might have definitely got, he was in the platform of Bhava. So definitely by his association, the deer also might have little bit got advanced. But then Krishna is now again arranging this association so that he becomes further enlightened. So here Prabhupada is talking that how conditioned soul, as long as he accepts this material body and he doesn't become freed from this contamination of material enjoyment, and he doesn't conquer these six enemies uh, and come to the platform of self realization, so he has to continue the cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janane jatare shayanam. Yaha samsare bahudukare kripaya pare pahi murare. So as long as you don't take shelter of Krishna, you have to continue this cycle of birth and death. So actually, conditioned soul doesn't realize that how this material contamination is very dangerous. He thinks that it is okay to have all these impurities. He thinks that what is a problem. But actually, if we have this lust, greed, anger, all these impurities, it is troublesome for oneself and also it is troublesome for others. You can see that how Ravana, he was lusty. So, because of that lust, we can see that how himself was in trouble. He had a uh, golden city, not just gold color painted, made in gold. Huh? So externally, his buildings, everything were made in gold, but his heart was dirty. It was like gutter. so, so we can see that he was not willing to listen, and because of his lust, uh, so his whole family, relatives, brothers, his own sons, all the army, everybody got killed. Finally, he also got killed. Until he died, he was not giving up. Right? Even Kumbhakarna, it's mentioned, he also was warning him, better you give up Sita. Still, he was not listening. Even after so many died, he didn't realize. Right? So, so we can see that single man's lust caused so many deaths. Same way, we can see Hitler. He had some envy for the Jews. So he want to make all the Jews into Jews. Means he want to kill. So then we know that how he killed thousands of people. That hatred for the Jews, and then finally we hear that how he also committed suicide. Right, and we see that all the world wars or whatever wars fights happen is ultimately because of false ego, right, or greed. They are not satisfied with their resources in their nation. They think that I also want that oil from that nation, or I want that land because it is beautiful or filled with natural resources. They are not satisfied with their land, so they are greedy for others uh, land or resources. So again, because of that, they start wars, and that causes problem for themselves and the other country also, because their side also so many soldiers die, correct, and other side also so many people die, and so much money also goes waste, correct, lot of money goes waste and lot of tension also, right. So uh, actually ultimately in material world everybody is trying to enjoy. One purport Prabhupada says that those who are not grateful to Lord, they are all thieves and rogues in material world. So once Alexander was in India, and he was staying in some tents. No? So one thief stole something from his tent. So the soldiers caught him and brought him before this Alexander. So then Alexander said, "Why are you stealing?" So then the thief said, "See, I am only stealing small, small things. Why are you so much angry? You are stealing big, big things. You are stealing nations, which is ultimately God's property, and you are claiming it to be yours. You are a big thief. I am a very small thief. Small things only I am stealing." So why are you so much angry? Then Alexander also realized. So he left him. So everybody in material world is actually trying to steal God's property and enjoy. That is a problem. So that's why there is lust, greed, anger, all these problems. Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarva Lokamaheshwaram Suradam Sarva Bhutanam Jnatva Mam Shantirichyati. So this is a peace formula given by Krishna. You don't try to be enjoyer. Krishna is a enjoyer. And in trying to give Krishna enjoyment, you also get enjoyment. It's not that devotees don't get enjoyment. They get much more than other people also. How? Yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti taskanna bhujo. You water the root of the tree, the leaves, branches, everything gets watered. Practically also, after coming to Iskcon, we have honored so many varieties of prasadam, which in our life we have never seen or tasted. Generally, in South India, you may taste only prasadam, means food of idli, dosa, and sambar, some lemon rice, tamarind rice. But when you come to Iskcon, you'll taste everything: west, east, north, south, all directions covered. Huh? What is it? Means many times it happens that we see that we have never seen this item. What is this? Means, but devotees honor prasadam, but in honoring also they get enjoyment, right? So in giving Krishna enjoyment, you naturally also enjoy. And Krishna is not miser. In spiritual world also, Sarishti, one of the what you call forms of mukti, you enjoy the same opulence as Krishna in the spiritual world, not in material world. Because Krishna knows that in this material world, if we give, then living entity will so much absorbed in enjoying that. But still Krishna is merciful. You can see that he gives so much opulences to devotees also. Uh, so, so in giving Krishna enjoyment, naturally you also actually get enjoyment. That is a secret, right? You sing kirtan for pleasure of Lord. Naturally you also dance, sing. Right? Prabhupada said our movement is chanting, dancing, and feasting. Sometimes fasting also, but most of the times feasting. So such a nice uh, way to serve the Lord. So yeah, so that's why in trying to give Krishna enjoyment, naturally we'll be happy, right? Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshavagam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Avayam. You can directly experience this knowledge and the transformation in your own lives by applying this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling. And you can experience Susukam. You can immediately experience the true eternal happiness of the soul. Why we feel that happiness in Kirtan? The soul is happy. After so many lifetimes, after so many lifetimes of staying in ignorance and fasting from Krishna, the soul is fasting from Krishna consciousness. After so many lifetimes, when the soul comes first time in contact with Krishna, soul becomes so ecstatic. Like a very hungry person gets a big feast after so many days, right? Like that, the soul receives Krishna, so is very ecstatic. So, yeah, so these impurities in our heart, they're very dangerous. As I said, it troubles us, troubles others also. So, generally, we are not so careful about removing these impurities because we can't see them generally. Like sometimes when your shirt, when your clothes get dirty or your body gets dirty, we are able to immediately see. So, we immediately take action because we feel that what will others think about me. So immediately we are careful to cleanse the shirt or whatever body. But when it comes to impurities in the heart, because others are not able to see generally. Sometimes they also come to know in some situations. We become angry, lusty, greedy. So others also can perceive sometimes, but in general, nobody knows. So, because of that, we are also not so conscious of removing them, right? But actually, yeah, so generally, when we, uh, yeah, before I tell that, so generally, that's why we are not so worried about it. But actually, these impurities are so dangerous, as Prabhupada is mentioning. This is the cause of repeated birth and death. So, these impurities are like virus, lust, greed, anger. So, this virus in the heart, it is more dangerous than any virus related to the body. Like COVID, for example. If somebody is infected with COVID virus, so then we get into anxiety. As long as we remove it from the body, we are in great anxiety because I may die. So then we uh, separate them, what do you call, uh, we keep them separately, no? What do you call that? Isolation. Quarantine. We quarantine them and then they are given specific medicine, food. So we take so many precautions so that we can immediately come out of uh, those virus. And we are fearful that that may cause death. But actually, this virus in the heart is more dangerous than those viruses. Why? Because that virus may only lead to death only once. But this virus is making us die and take birth again. Yeah, because this is the cause of bondage, no? This is the cause of taking birth again. Lust, greed, anger. So these are even more dangerous than that. And those are easily detectable generally. But these are generally not so easily detectable. And how much it is there, how deep, that also we are not so much aware. Right? In some situations they come out. Correct? So that's why Krishna says, uh, this enemy, this lust is our eternal enemy. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapadma vidyenam iha vairinam. It is our eternal enemy. So when these are our eternal enemies, when we know that these are enemies, so we should work upon removing those. Otherwise, those very enemies can destroy us from within. When enemy is outside, it is easy to recognize and work. When enemy is within, it becomes even more difficult. And Maya attacks through these enemies. Because our mind is contaminated by lust, greed, anger, all this. So Maya knows that we have this. So Maya attacks through them. You're understanding? The illusory energy attacks through these enemies. So as long as we have even a small tinge of lust, greed, anger, all this, we are forced to again take birth. They are forced to get entangled in this material existence. So that's why devotees of the Lord are very careful in removing these impurities from their heart. So, but how to remove these impurities? Because generally, when we have some dirt on body or clothes, we have soaps, we have washing powders, right? So, more the stain, more we apply them and try to remove, right? So that we appear very clean for people around us. Otherwise, we are afraid what will they think, right? But to remove this dirt in our heart, which is troubling us, this dirt is from so many millions of lifetimes. But we are not so much worried about that dirt. Right? Although it is troubling us from so many lives. Right? So, but this dirt cannot go by some washing powder, huh, or some soap. No, that will not work. Nor will it go by some medicines. Right? It will only go by one medicine, holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada, when yesterday we celebrated Prabhupada's arrival in Boston, USA. So when he boarded that Jaladuta, so such a old man, 70-year-old man, how could he take such a bold step? Huh? What hope he had, or what made him take that bold step? That is his faith in holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. He felt that I am just an instrument in the hands of Guru and Krishna, and I am just simply going to present this holy name and Krishna to the people there. So I am not qualified, but for Krishna everything is possible. Mukam karoti vachalam pangul langayate girim yatkripaha tamham vande Shri Gurundinata. So by Guru's and Krishna's mercy, anything is possible. So he had that faith. So that's why he was able to take such a bold step and carry Krishna with him in the form of Bhagavatam and holy name. And that's what he just presented it to them. So, um, um, so in Ishopanishad, it's mentioned that Krishna has two qualities, Shuddham and Apapavidam. Hmm? So, and Arjuna also says uh, Krishna is Pavitram. Hmm? So, Krishna is pure. So, anybody who comes in contact with Krishna, they will also become pure. Hmm? So, that's why Prabhupada went to West and he gave that holy name. So, similarly, when we also chant Hare Krishna, so naturally but surely we get transformed, right? So, sometimes devotees feel that after some time, that whether I am actually making progress. So, initially, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we may have some bad habits. So, we may give up those bad habits. So, then we feel that I got transformed. But after some time, we may feel whether I am really making transformation or not. We have some doubt. So, the analogy is given of a plane. So, when a plane takes off from land, so initially there is so much difference. You can see that, okay, you are going up. So, then everything becomes very small and you feel that, okay, now I have gone up. But after some time, it goes straight. So one may feel whether I am going up or whether I am moving. But actually, means as long as the plane is working, it is going forward and reaching the destination. So similarly, as long as we render devotional service, we are going towards Krishna. And definitely, some of the gross habits we might give up previously, but the subtle bad habits or the conditionings also, we gradually but surely give up. The enjoying mentality, controllership mentality, all this gradually but surely we give up. Hmm. So that goes away. So one should be confident that as long as I stick to this process sincerely, definitely Krishna will purify my heart and help me to develop love for Krishna. So here Prabhupada is telling that living entity absorbed in material conception, he identifies strongly with a nation, family, country, or creed with various upadhis. So, what we identify ourselves with, we start thinking in that direction. Like somebody thinks, I am an engineer. So, he starts thinking in that way. Somebody thinks I am from this particular nation or particular caste, he starts thinking in that way generally. So, according to how you identify yourselves with, you start thinking in that direction. And generally, when you think I am this body, I am a man, I am a woman, then you also start thinking in that way. But these are all false designations. That's why Prabhupada is quoting Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Ishikesha Ishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchati. So, our real, we have to remove all these false designations and only identify with our true designation. Jivere Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas or Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa 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 Anadas. So, this is our real designation. So, but unfortunately, because of our conditioning, we keep identifying ourselves with these wrong designations. So, they are like coverings on the soul, all these wrong designations, right? So, just like suppose your hand wears or different or you are covered over by no some cloth, so then generally you cannot identify, right? So because you don't know what is what, you can't see, so then you may imagine something else, right? So similarly these false designations no make us act and think in wrong way because of ignorance, right? And these are all temporary illusory designations. Like here in the past, Jadabharat was instructing Rahugana, you are thinking that you are king and I am servant, but how long will this go? Because he himself was a king the previous lives, and now he became Jadabharat, he became servant. And he's saying, King Rahugana, you are thinking now you are king, but after sometimes even in the same life also, sometimes those designations go away. Hmm. So there is one story of one king and minister. So this king was very strongly attached to his kingship. And he was thinking, because of me only, everything is running very nicely in the kingdom. So the minister said, no, it is not like that. I'll prove. It's not like that. So he said, you go to, for 1 month, you go somewhere, uh, the forest somewhere, and you don't come. We'll tell everyone that you died, and we will show how the kingdom will still run smoothly. So the king left, and they announced in the kingdom that the king died while hunting. So unfortunately, so we'll make the prince as a new king. So they made the prince as a new king. So the neighboring kings they came to know. So then they attacked this kingdom. So the king was worried, see what is happening. But then the prince was very intelligent. So he arranged the armies very nicely and he conquered the neighboring kingdoms also. And everybody started praising the prince, that how intelligent is this prince and how nicely he is taking care. Then after 1 month, actually everyone in the kingdom forgot the king also. Anyway, he left now. He's gone now. The prince is there, nice. Then the minister told, see, in 1 month they forgot you. After 1 year, 10 years, they'll not even remember your name. Huh? So then the king realized, yeah, that I was foolishly attached to my designation. So similarly, we are attached to so many false designations, uh, whatever we may be. We think that without me it will not work, or I am so and so. But all these are temporary, right? They come and they go. Whatever we may have acquired, various designations, next life again you need to work hard, right? Suppose somebody is PhD, it's not that next life you will continue with that, with your birth again that certificate will come. Okay, last year I did so, last life I did, so please excuse me, I will not do this. No. Again, you have to start from nursery. Uh, Again, you have to do everything, right? So it means that all these false resignations, no matter how much you work hard to acquire, ultimately they are temporary and you will lose them, right? But this designation which we have, that we are eternal servant of Krishna, that is eternal. That nobody can take away. That your eternal relation with Krishna, that designation cannot be taken by anybody else. That will remain. So your placement is assured. People are means people in this world are so much worried in anxiety nowadays about jobs, whether I'll get placed, or somebody else took my position, I was looking for this. Whether in college or in companies, there is so much anxiety, competition, worry, and people become envious. But this position in the spiritual world, your eternal relation with Krishna, nobody else can take. It is for you only, it is reserved for you. And Krishna is waiting. And Krishna is ready to help us also to come back to that position. He is ready to arrange all the ways and means so that we can again come back and take that position. Nobody is going to become envious of that because everybody has their own position reserved, right? And Krishna is also ready to no reciprocate with us in that position. Even if you become a grass, the spiritual world, it's not that Krishna is busy with gopis. So I think he will maybe uh, once in a while he may reciprocate. No, it's not like Krishna is ready to reciprocate even with the grass in the spiritual world. The grass will get the dust or the touch of the lotus feet of Krishna and it is completely satisfied in its relation with Krishna. There is no inferiority complex. अरे मैं ग्रास हूँ, ये लोग तो डायरेक्ट सेवा कर रहे हैं. No. So everybody is satisfied in spiritual world in their designation, serving Krishna eternally. So, so that we should be hankering for that designation. So in this world, everybody is in anxiety, worried, competing for the false designations, which will one way or one day or other ultimately be taken away. This body or all other degrees and whatever positions we acquire ultimately will be taken away. Prabhu was telling in one lecture that one planning commissioner was driving to announce the future plans of the nation. But on the way he died. Prabhupada says that he was not knowing the eternal, the plan of the Lord. He might have made so many plans for himself or for the nation, but he doesn't know the plan of the Lord. Right? So we may make so many plans with our false designations. But he doesn't know, we don't know that there is some other plan of the Lord. So, yeah. So we should not be attached to these false designations. That's why give up all these false designations and engage your senses in serving Hrishikesh, Lord of the senses. So Hrishikesha means he is a Lord, Master of the senses and mind. So who has made mind senses? Krishna. So one who has made mind senses, for him it is easy to control that mind and senses. So simply we hand our ropes of our chariot in the hands of Krishna. Sara was telling, Arjuna gave his ropes in hands of Ardhasarthi, Krishna. So ropes are compared to mind, horses are compared to senses. So you hand over the ropes of your chariot in Krishna's hand because he can control. If you try to control, you cannot control that horses. They will go in their own direction. So one who is intelligent will give that horses, that ropes of his mind senses in the hands of Krishna. And for Krishna it is easy. He is Rishikesh, right? For him it is very easy to control. So that's why a devotee engages in the service of the Lord and prays to Lord, "Oh Krishna, please control this mind and senses. Only you can control this mind and senses." Even big yogis like Durvasa Muni or Vishwamitra, they were not able to control their mind senses. But devotees very easily they are able to control the mind. So Prabhupada says in one of the purports how the senses are compared to snakes and they have the poison of sense gratification. So Krishna removes that poison. So when the snakes are removed of that fangs, then it cannot bite. Or even if it bites, nothing happens. So similarly, when the senses are removed from the poison of sense gratification, then the senses are free from getting entangled. Because they will always engage in Krishna service. They will not engage in sense gratification. So by devotional activities, chanting, hearing, so actually we are removing this poison of sense gratification from our heart and also developing love for Krishna. So then living entity naturally loves Krishna and he is engaged in that eternal loving service, that eternal resignation. So that only completely satisfies the soul. Savai pumsham parodharmo ito bhaktir adokshaje ahaituki apratihata eyatma suprasidati. When we render unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service, that only satisfies the soul completely. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we pray to Lord that we may forget all these false designations and be only attached to our eternal designation so that we can engage in His loving service and be happily situated. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari.